pass that real estate exam. You're going to prep with Wild Lillie Handy of YouTube Agent Prep. And we're going to do national and Texas state questions today. I was asked and you receive. So remember, hi Kamanani, nice to see you here. We're going to be doing national questions that apply to all 50 states and then some Texas state questions at the end. So as usual, please participate, type the question number and the answer in the chat, and that way I can help you. I'm also going to try to go a little bit faster. I've had a request on YouTube if I could go a little bit faster and not so much of delay between questions. So I do what I can to please. All right. So here we go. Westside Houston, hoping to be on tonight. All right. I hope to see you here. So anybody that's watching on YouTube, remember to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give StreamYard permission to post your Facebook name here in StreamYard, because that is what I'm using to stream onto 3 different media: Facebook, YouTube, actually on my Agent Prep private Facebook group and Agent Prep business page. Okay, because on the private group, you know, it's only for those who request to join. Hi, Fabiola. You're very welcome. Welcome here. So on the private Facebook group, it's only for those who have requested to join, and I monitor all posts, okay? And on the business page, anybody can post on there. And of course, I answer all questions, any questions that anybody asks about questions for the national or the state or any other, like, you know, about sponsorship, EXP, or what you think. Okay, so this is the book. And just to comfort everyone, I do have permission to use these books, okay, from Stephen Medling. And they have published books for like 25 states and also pre-licensing books. Really love their books because of the fact that they have a review of all the different sections that you're preparing for the exam. They also have pre-licensing books for 25 different states. And then they have the questions for national and Texas state questions and the answers explained. Hi, Sonia. Nice to see you here. Thank you for joining. All right. So again, not violating any copyrights here. I have permission. Oops. So we're going to start with test number 1 for the national practice test. And these are tests similar to what you may see on your actual exam. Okay. So take notes. Don't get nervous about your exam. Yes, I did too. Okay. I used to get all stressed out and all bent out of shape and be really hard on myself when I was preparing. And I did fail 3 different exams the first time around. So I really wanted it, even though being a realtor wasn't really what I wanted. It was a backup, but now I love it. I enjoy it. And I enjoy helping you prepare for your testing. And then I will be enjoying helping you also with videos on how to get your business started. Okay. And where to spend money, where not to spend money, because money is very important. And it's going to take some time, weeks, months, others, it takes almost a year before doing the first transaction. So nothing is normal. Okay. Everyone starts doing business at a different pace. And just realize you're not an agent. You are a realtor. It's a 2-syllable word, real and tor, not realtor, okay, but realtor. So learn to pronounce it correctly right from the beginning. And we become professionals when we sign up to our local MLS, to the Texas, to the state Association of Realtors and the National Association of Realtors. We are building our own business. So keep in mind that studying questions and vocabulary, it's just a prep to pass your exams. The real world is totally different, and you'll need mentoring, guidance, lots of practice, and doing a lot of basics without having to spend a lot of money. All right. So that is an encouraging thing that I wanted to show, because I heard some comments by some students or some realtors that started, and I thought, oh my God, it's taken me months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. And the cost of paying fees every month. Well, get real, you all. This is not a job. This is your business. You're opening the doors to your business. Okay. And so if that's not what you're expecting, I just want to, set some things clear here. If you're not expecting that, you're opening a door to your business. Okay. So you're at a strip mall and you're now a realtor attracting business and getting client. You're paying for expenses to build your business. We're not employees. Good evening, Cindy. We're not employees, and we're not there to have other brokers give us leads. If they do, they may give us, low quality leads because we're beginners and they've got to make money. They're a broker. They're spending a lot of expenses to provide us, if they do, with some leads. The more leads we get, the more we're paying them. Okay. So please do not misunderstand. You're not just an agent, an employee. This is my business. We're the boss of us. And in order to have our own business, we've got to work our ass off. Okay. And work smart. Okay. A little pep talk. So those that are watching the replay, hey, just fast forward if you don't want to hear my pep talk. That's okay. However, I see a lot of discouraged individuals and false expectations when starting the real estate business. And like, oh my gosh, it costs too much money. Well, what did you expect? A freebie? No. You want to build a business? It costs money. At least you're not opening your own building and going to pay those types of expenses. Okay, I can get a little cold. All right, here. So this test has to do with rights, interest, and estates, ownership, which we reviewed on vocabulary on Saturday. Yes, you go, Kamanani. I am the boss of me. I need the prep talk or the pep talk. Grateful. Yes, please be realistic. Please no. Okay. Don't go into real estate with a misconception that it's a glorious job when you start. Yes, it can be. After you've been doing it for a while, 6 months, a year, or more. And I want you all to succeed, but you need to go in with reality that this is your business that you're going to build. And if you expect to get leads, they may be low quality leads. Okay. When brokers give leads out, they want somebody to turn them around and get sales and make them money, and yourself. Keep that in mind. All right. Rights, interest, and estates. Or let's see if I should do it this way. We did this on the review on vocabulary. You can go to, what was it, number 2, vocabulary, okay, and review these topics, rights, interest, and estates, and the different types of ownerships, which there are 4. Okay, number 1, which of the following would be defined as real estate as opposed to real property? Okay, real estate, you have an interest in real estate opposed to real property. So A, wells, driveways, and signs on a parcel of land. B, mobile homes temporarily parked on a parcel of land. C, timber that has been cut and is lying on parcel of land. Or D, business equipment and owner or tenant has placed on a parcel. So which of the following would be defined as real estate as opposed to real property? You have an interest in real property. Is what real estate is. Type your answer in the chatty chat. Whether you're on Facebook, on YouTube. Okay, type your answer in the chat. I get to see all 3. Okay, Cindy says 1A. Yes, the answer is 1.1A. An interest in defined as real estate, wells, driveways, and signs on a parcel of land. Which of the following would be defined as real estate as opposed to real property? Okay, so the well, that is a permanent fixture in the real property, right? In the real estate. Driveways, they're permanent, right? They go with the land. Signs on a land, you may end up having permanent signs on your land. That's part of the real estate, right? It's a pertinent to it and it goes with the land, right? It moves with the land. So 1.1A. Very good. Okay, if you hear some noise on the back, it's because I'm getting the videos going here. Doot, doot, doot. And I'll mute it. Okay, awesome. It's muted on there. All right, okay, so 1-1, wells, driveway. So mobile homes temporarily parked? No, that's not real estate. Timber that has been cut and is lying on a parcel of land? No, that eventually becomes real property, personal property, right? You go and sell it and make money on it. It was part of the land. Business equipment an owner or tenant has placed on a parcel of land? No, that's personal property, right? It's not, it's a business fixtures, okay, if they happen to be attached. They're not real estate versus real property. All right, number 2. Let's see, do we see it all on one page? Well, yes. All right, number 2. Which of the following would be considered a property improvement? Okay, remember you have the land on there and you make an improvement. A, an alteration to land to make it more useful. B, an increase in the value of a property. C, a chicken coop permanently attached to the land. Or D, a parcel of land that has passed a percolation test. So what becomes an improvement to the land? It's considered property improvement. Which of the following is it? Is it an alteration to the land? Moving dirt around? An increase in value of property? Well, no, that's not an improvement, right? A chicken coop permanently attached to the land? It's affixed to the land? Or a parcel of land that has passed a percolation test? Nah. So the answer here is C, a chicken coop permanently attached to the land, right? It's now affixed. Use the method, the acronym MARIA, okay? How is it attached to the land? It is permanently affixed. That makes it a property improvement. A chicken coop, well, depending what kind of chicken coop, it could be a very simple one or it could be a major, awesome, huge barn, okay? And that could increase the value of the property, especially, you're out in agriculture. What was number 1A, right? And 1.2 is C. Okay. All right. Yes, it's an improvement. Number 3. Let me see if I can get these larger for all of you, for any of you that may be watching on your cell phones. Okay. I do my best to accommodate. Which of the following best describes the physical boundaries of land? Physical boundaries of land. A. So which one best describes? Sometimes there could be more than one good answer, but which one best describes the physical boundaries of land? A. The surface on the earth and infinite space above the surface. B. The center of the earth and infinite space above the earth. C, the surface of the earth and all water and minerals on or below the surface to the center of the earth. Or D, the surface of the earth, the air above, and the surface to the point defined by local zoning. Okay, so which one describes physical boundaries? Okay, you have 3 levels of space on the land, okay? On the physical boundaries of land. What are those 3 levels of land? Can somebody type those down, or everybody? Which the answer here doesn't specify all 3. Well, it's not quite D, because D only focuses on 2, the surface of the earth and the air rights above the surface. Okay? And it says to the point defined by local zoning. So it's missing 1. And C, the surface of the earth and all water and minerals on or below the surface to the center of the earth. Well, again, you're missing 1. Okay, the B is the correct answer. 1.3B, the center of the earth and infinite space above the earth. So we have water wells, septic tanks that are dug underneath, and we have maybe an aquifer well. So we have anything, the minerals under the surface of the earth, and then we have the improvements on the actual surface of the earth. There's surface soil that sometimes the government pays because it's very good agriculture soil. And I think they discontinued that. They did it for farming. And then the airspace above. So we have, so here's the level land. We have below the earth, on the surface of the earth, and above the airspace of the earth. So we have 3 areas that are physical boundaries of land, below the earth to an infinite space above the earth. So 1.3B. So if you ever get that question, you have air. Well, minerals could be on the surface, but they're also in the ground. So you have air, surface air, land, okay, and water rights, which is underneath, going to the center of the earth. You know, there was a movie called Down to the Center of the Earth. It's an awesome movie. I forget the exact name, but it was very interesting. All right, number 4. So did you all get that? You have below the earth, on the surface, and above. So let me see. You said, what is the question? It's not visible clear on my screen. Okay, if your computer screen is not clear, it is the resolution on your computer. So you need to click your settings, okay, on your computer, or let's see, right click somewhere and fix the resolution to the maximum of 720 so that you can view a clear screen. Okay, it is the resolution on that particular page. Okay, and you might be able to set it through the 3 dots, editing tools under settings, but you have to look for the resolution and set it to 720. Okay, if it's something lower, it'll look blurry and you won't see it clearly. All right, number 4. I've had to set mine, and I forget the quick setting. Sometimes it's at the bottom when you're watching your video. Oh, when you're watching your video, okay, you can click. So on Facebook and on YouTube, I think you can click the little gears, okay, the settings. And on there, you'll be able to select the resolution. Let me test it, okay? I'm wearing glasses, screen, burr, yes. Oh, you know what? Kamanani, you just reminded me. My eyes get really tired after doing this because I have a ring light in front of me. Okay, so on your, yes. So on your computer, when you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube, you have a gear settings. When you click that gear, it says quality of resolution. If you have it on auto 480, so you can select all the way up to 720 and you'll see a very clear resolution. Okay. All right. That's the way you do it. Number 4, bundle of rights. Okay. We reviewed this on Saturday, if anybody was here. The bundle of rights refers to a set of rights, right? It's the best type of ownership to have all the bundle of rights. A, enjoyed by the owner of a property. B, that is synonymous with the Bill of Rights. C, guaranteed to citizens by the Statute of Rights. Or D, specified in a deed or land contract. So where would you see the type of ownership that you have? And, you know, it can be a fee simple, a leasehold, free leasehold, okay, or less than freehold, you know, like, or a life estate. Less than freehold is for tenants. So on bundle of rights, it's for actual ownership. However, if they provide an estate, you know, it'll say it on there. So the bundle of rights, there are a set of rights enjoyed by the owner of a property, right? That's the way you can have a fee simple absolute or fee simple defeasible, which means that you convey the property to somebody and they have to continue using it for certain conditions. And if they don't, then it goes back to the original owner or to the remainder person, but it's used as remainder man, right? All right, number 1.5. Oops. Dang it. There we go. 1.5. So I haven't been showing the answers. Oh, well, replay. Number 5, which of the following best describes the legal concept of personal property? Legal concept of personal property. A, any item which is acquired in a fee simple sale transaction. B, any item of property that is not definable as real property. C, any movable property owned by an individual, partnership, or corporation. Or D, any item that is not a natural item affixed to the earth. So what is it? So remember, we had real estate, you know, and real property, right? It's still real. It's not personal property. So what would the answer be here? It is B, anything of property that is not defined as real property. Okay, any item of property that is not definable as real property. And the last one, D, said any item that is not a natural item affixed to the earth. Well, what if it's affixed to the, so it's not, right? It's a real property, personal property can be affixed to the improvements, right? And it could still be personal property if it is for business, right? Fixtures for the business. All right. Number 6. The right to encumber, or hi, Alida, welcome to today's class. I haven't said hi to everybody. David Fernandez, Cindy Cook, Sonia, Kamanani are here. There's a whole bunch of you here, but I don't see your names because you're not participating. So this is the time to participate. Don't be shy. That way we can all help you, not just me, because I get corrected sometimes. Number 6, the right to encumber a property means that the owner can what? A, sell the property to an encumbered party. B, pledge the property as collateral for debt. C, lease the property. Or D, assign the bundle of rights to another. Which one would it be? So what is encumbered? The right to encumber a property. Right? You're putting a lien or something on the property. So yes, David, B, and Cindy, it is B, pledge the property as collateral for debt. right? Because any encumbrance is it's a cloud on the property. And so in this case, it would be the collateral, pledge the property as collateral for debt. Very good. All right, number 7. Moving right along. A property owner leases 60 acres of agricultural land for a renewable period of 5 years. Okay, so they're leasing 60 acres of land, agricultural, and renewable period is 5 years. In the context of real estate rights, this lease presents what? A, transfer of a portion of bundle of rights. B, encroachment on the bundle of rights. C, conveyance of the complete bundle of rights. Or D, encumbrance of the tenant's rights. So when you rent property, you have certain rights, correct? So when it's being leased, what kind of rights do we have? The right to possess and to use and enjoy, right? So we transfer transfer a portion of the bundle of rights. Not all of them. We cannot encumber it. We cannot sell it. But we can enjoy it and possess it, right? Possess 100% of it and enjoy it. So we do possess a portion of the bundle of rights when we're leasing land. Very good. Awesome. All right, number 8. That's not going to work. Let's see here. Okay, number 8. A homeowner is very upset over a drone that a neighbor flies over their house. There are rules against that. So he takes this case to court to end this possible violation of rights. Does he have a case, and on what basis? It depends, right? So A, no, the neighbor is not physically on his property. B, no, the drone is in the air, so he cannot exercise any surface rights. C, yes, the owner has the right to stop encroachments. Or D, yes, the drone infringe on his air rights. That's number 8, right? So what's the answer for number 8? Are they infringing or not? Remember, what type, how many areas of land do we have? Below, surface, above, right? So yes, the answer is 18D. Yes, the drone infringes on their air rights. Because otherwise you could be having somebody, hey, pookie doo. Some people like to skinny dip or do walk around naked in their backyard, and you don't want anybody up in the cloud watching, right? Or up in the sky, up in the clouds. Oh, well. All right, number 9. Littoral rights apply to which of the following? L for what? R for what? A, boatable ponds entirely contained within the boundaries of an owner's property. B, streams and rivers. C, navigable lakes, seas, and oceans. Or D, navigable streams and rivers. Littoral rights apply to which of the following? So the answer here is C, right? Navigable lakes, seas, and oceans, right? It's not a stream. It's not running. Yes, the oceans and the seas do have waves, okay? But it's not a running stream. It is navigable. Oh, forgot it. 1.8, what was A? 1.8A. Okay, if you see some delayed answers, it's because I didn't type them on Facebook. Okay, so the answer here is 19C, right? Navigable lakes and seas and oceans, right? It's not a stream. So L for lakes, littoral for lakes, R for riparian rights, anything along a stream, a creek, a river. Number 10. A retired couple has just bought a retirement home with a pier on a large lake. In this case, the retiree's water rights extend to what? A, the high water mark of the body of water at the shoreline. B, the low water mark of the body of water at the shoreline. C, the center of the lake. Or D, the end of the pier. So that retired couple that bought that home with a pier on a large lake. So how far do the retiree's waters extend? Type your, let's see, so far I have A. No, it is not D. Sorry about that. It is not D. Okay. So the answer is 10. A, the high water mark of the body of water at the shoreline. So the high water mark of the body of water at the shoreline. That's how far they own. Oh, wow. That's weird. Oh, 1.10. Don't mind me, okay? I'm just saying weird to my Facebook and when I'm posting the answers there. Okay, do y'all get that? So some of you answered D, the end of the pier. Well, what if the pier isn't all the way in the lake, right? It says a retired couple has just bought a retirement home with a pier on a large lake. You know, the pier could be real close to the surface of the land. In this case, the retiree's water rights extend to the high water mark of the body of water at the shoreline. All right. Is the shoreline, the pier goes out? Yeah, the shoreline is where your grass ends, okay? Or, you know, or if you don't have grass, you have earth, right? So it's the boundary line, the surrounding area of the lake, and the piers can go further out. So if the water comes further up, okay, when there's a major maybe flood or overflow or lots of rain, the high water mark of the body of water at the shoreline would be it. So if the water line goes up higher into their land, that becomes, okay, the water rights extend to it. All right, okay, did I post the answer? Yes. I mean, sometimes the high water mark could be in smaller lakes or smaller creeks to the middle of the river or the middle of the creek. You know, I own some land in Oregon, and there was a narrow creek, and the my water rights, or actually the boundary line, extended to the center of that creek. But here is just the couple just bought a retirement home with a pier and a large lake. In this case, the retiree's water rights extend to where? Not necessarily the pier. The pier is just, you know, an extra keyword they throw in there to kind of throw you off. So the water rights extend to the high level, not necessarily to where the pier is located. Okay, 111. A waterfront homeowner has just died. What will become of the water rights the owner enjoyed while living in the home? A, they revert to the state when the property is sold. they are extinguished. C, they are personal property belonging to an individual owner, not attaching to the real property. Or D, they transfer with the property when the property is sold. So what would the correct answer here be? So does the water rights go with the land, or is it per individual or owner? Some water rights are different. Okay. In this case, the answer is D. They transfer with the property when the property is sold. Okay. If they had a temporary right or easement that was given to an owner, then that would die with the owner. Okay. That would not, it would not be inherited by a new owner unless it was a recorded easement. Okay. So in this case, the rights of water, if they have water rights for irrigation from the creek, from the lake, then those water rights, okay, are given to the land, especially if they're going to use it for irrigation, for crops and such. And as long as they don't interfere, and they go by seniority, okay? And so whoever applies for water rights first sometimes gets a little bit more and has more rights. And they could be upstream and keeping more of the water, that by the time it goes to the bottom of the creek, then there will be less water available. Okay, so water rights transfer with the property when the property is sold. Okay, I looked at the answer for number 10. It didn't say a whole lot. Ownership extends to the high water mark of the body of water. The low water mark would be imply that the owner owned the water itself at times of high water levels. Okay. So on this question, number 11, it says littoral rights attached to the property, right? Littoral rights being that it is a lake. Okay. And so here it said a waterfront homeowner has just died. And it didn't mention whether it was water rights on a river, whether it was on a lake. But according to the answer, littoral rights attached to the property. When the property is sold, the littoral rights transfer with the property to the new owner. So it depends what types of rights there are. Okay. If there isn't a total absolute. All right, number 12. Bailey, your daddy will be here soon to pick you up. I doggy sit. I borrow a neighbor's dog to take them for walks. And I keep them here till their daddy gets home. I don't have a dog, so I borrow other people's dogs to go jogging and walking. Okay. And it helps them get exercise, right? So riparian rights concern which of the following bodies of rights? So what did I mention earlier? L for lakes, R for what? A, lakes, B, seas and oceans, C, streams and rivers, or D, navigable lakes? Yes, very good. C for streams and rivers. Very good. Number 13. Which of the following best describes a fixture? I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the class, right? There's different types of fixtures, right? So A, any item of personal property positioned with the boundaries of a parcel of real estate. B, an item of personal property that has been converted to real property. C, an item of real property temporarily placed on land for the purpose of conducting a business. Or D, an item of personal property that has been left in one location for a period of 6 months. Very interesting, huh? All right. Yes, number 13 is B. Any item of personal property that has been converted to real property. That is a fixture. And you can go and review the acronym MARIA, right? And be able to know, the method, the agreement, MARIA, I forget the method, the agreement, the reason, MARIA, the intention, and the adaptation, how it was adapted, right? So somebody type what MARIA stands for. Okay, type it on the chat. What does MARIA stand for? It tells you how to determine whether a fixture is real property or personal property. So type that on the chat. And I know there's probably delays, okay, in typing your answer. So MARIA, right, stands for what? Equals method, adaptability. I gave them in the wrong order. Ability, relationship, intention, and agreement, right? So method, adaptability, relationship, intention, and agreement, right? The agreement of the individuals. So I had it in the wrong order. And for relationship, I said the reason, right? So what is the relationship with the fixture? What's the reason it was attached, right? Electrical, plumbing, to provide something that is needed in the home. So there are 5, right? MARIA, MARIA. And that will help you determine whether it's a real estate fixture, personal property, or whether it's real property. So 13B. All right, number 14. So I think Cindy is taking her exam on Wednesday or Thursday. So she requested, I tell you what, Cindy asks, and I've been delivering. Cindy asked if I could add an additional day, and I added Monday. Then on Saturday, she asked, could you do questions on Monday? And here we are, right? Because she's got her test. So many times I am able to accommodate you. I don't always succeed, but when asked in advance, I will do my best. All right. A fixture is my reason for, let's see, what does it say? For the relationship. Yeah, so the reason, the relationship, okay, the intention, the agreement within the owners, how it's adapted. All right. So, I didn't show it. So there's MARIA, method, adaptability, relationship, intention, agreement. Joe Juder on YouTube on Prep Agent describes that really well. What number are we on? Number 14. An item may be considered a personal property as opposed to real property that provided that what? So personal property, an item can be considered personal property as opposed to real property provided that what? A, the owner intended to remove it after a period of time. B, it can be removed without altering the appearance of the structure. C, it is unnecessary to the physical integrity of the structure. Or D, the owner installed it at some time after acquiring real property. Bye, Bailey.
Thank you.
Yes. Bailey's daddy arrived. Okay, so type your answer in the chatty chat. All right, so on number 14, the answer is A, right? The owner intended to remove it after a period of time. So if the fixture was personal property and maybe it was originally real property, but they said, hey, it's an heirloom chandelier. I want to keep that. So to them, it's very personal. However, it has to be disclosed on the listing on the MLS that they're going to keep that heirloom. And to them, it is personal property, right? It's a hand-me-down from generation to generation, and they want to keep it. And so it is the intent, right? That is one of the methods, right? With a fixture, method, adaptability, relationship, intention. Oh, didn't I type? Oh, and agreement. Okay. I know I typed them all in there. Okay. So the last one is agreement. So on here, an owner intended to remove it after a period of time. Okay, so the answer is 114A. Oh, so let's see here. Oh, Kamanani said, let's go, Cindy. You go hit it out the park. Astros, let's go. And I think also Lisbeth, who I don't see her today, or she might be on here and maybe not commenting. Okay, so that was the intent. How was it intended to be used, right? Number 15. So keep those 5 in mind. Method, adaptability, relationship, intent, and agreement. All right, number 15. So 2 people own a house, each having an undivided equal interest. So remember, we're talking about interest, fixtures, personal property, real estate, right? Ownership. This is this test that we're reviewing. So 2 people own a house, each having an undivided equal interest, okay? Undivided equal interest. Which of the following best describes what each party owns? A 50% of the physical house and the land it rests on. So it says how many people? 2, right? 2 people. A, 100% of the home and the land. C, 50% of the estate consisting of the indivisible whole of the real property. Or D, each owns 100% of the estate represented by the real property and 50% of the physical house and the land it rests on. Tricky one, huh? So you have 2 persons that own a house and of course the land. Well, maybe the land. Sometimes you can move a house, right? And they only own the house and they lease the land. Each having an undivided equal interest. Okay. Undivided equal interest. So they have equal interest, but undivided possession, right? So, well, it's not complete when you ask A. When you say A, that is not complete. 50% of the physical house and the land it rests on. Well, yes, they do own 50% of it each. However, it says C, 50% of the estate. That's everything on the land, okay, consisting of the indivisible whole of the real property. So in other words, they own 50% on title, on the deed of the estate. Anything that's on the land below, above, on the air, the improvement, and they get to use it as an indivisible whole. So they have 100% possession and use of it and enjoyment. On paper, they own 50-50. Okay, y'all get that? So some of you answered A. I used to have a coaching call on Monday, so my alarm just went off. And now I'm doing this. I love you all. All right. So yes, C, 50% of the estate consisting of indivisible whole, meaning they get to use the whole, undivided, as access to it, enjoyment, and possession. Okay. All right. Number 16. Another type of ownership. A real property interest that includes the right to possess is considered A, an estate and land, B, a leasehold estate, C, a fee simple estate, or D, the bundle of rights. So a real property interest, okay, you have an interest in real property that includes the right to possess is considered Fabiola Ramos. Oh, I love you. Thank you so much. I love y'all too. I have fun here with y'all. So a real property interest, that's real estate. You have an interest in real property that includes the right to possess is considered well, no, it is not a fee simple estate because a fee simple estate is going to include all the bundle of rights. Here it says you have the right to possess it. So when you have an estate in land, you have the right to possess. It could be not just the land, but an estate to a life estate, a leasehold estate, okay? You get the right to possess it and to enjoy it. But you don't have a fee simple estate. It didn't say you own the whole thing. A real property interest that owns 100% or owns 50%. No, it says real property interest. So when you have real estate, you have an interest in real property. So the best answer here with the right to possess, okay? The right to possess. They can't encumber it. They can't own it. They don't own it. They don't encumber it. Okay, they can't sell it. They can't get any loans in it. Then that would be an estate in land. That would be the best answer. An estate in land. So let's see what the answer says. So interest are principally distinguished by whether they include possession. If the interest holder enjoys the rights of possession, the party is considered to have an estate in land or familiarly an estate. Okay, they have an estate. Freehold and leasehold estate in land are further distinguished by whether the duration of the owner's rights can be determined. Okay, so it could be, a leasehold estate or a freehold estate. However, those are going to have limits, right? A lease has a temporary limit, right? It's 6 months, a year, or whatever. A life estate, okay, will have for a terminate time, right? When the person passes away. That one got a yep, yes. So remember, fee simple is when you have all the bundle of rights. The only thing we have here is the right to possess. So they have some interest in land. When you have a lease, there's a beginning and there's an end. Okay, it didn't say that on there. So let's say they can, temporarily possess the land when they go and they use it. They just have an interest. They have an interest in land, in the whole property. So when they're saying an interest in land, they're including, all the improvements. That's the real property. However, it doesn't have a start date nor a termination date as in a lease estate. And if it was a life estate, then it's for the life of the individual, right? Right. All right, number 17. What, Pootie Tigger? Oh, my kitty cats are now hungry. And I couldn't feed them because the doggy was here. Sorry, Pootie. Gonna have to wait. His name is Pudi Tiger. He actually belongs to my neighbor. So I call him half my cat. We're on number 17, right? Yes, okay. Number 17. The right to control land usage by zoning and eminent domain is an act of, it's an example, not an act, is an example of what? A, public interest, B, police interest, C, an encumbrance, or D, an estate in law. So the right to control land usage by zoning and eminent domain is an example of what? Yes, very good, Sonia. It is a public interest. And we wouldn't say a police interest because it's not being mentioned as a police power. So it is for public interest, right? That's how, the right to control land uses by zoning and eminent is for the use of, it's for the interest of the public. So in eminent domain, right, that is the right of the police power to take property for public use, right? The act of taking the property is called condemnation. That's when they go to court and they take over the property by providing a current market value amount of dollar, right? Zoning is the right to control land, okay, and for the use of the public, right? They have local zoning, city zoning, county zoning, state zoning, all different types of zoning, residential, multiplex, multi-use, industrial, commercial, light commercial, heavy commercial, you know, agriculture, a lot of different types of use. Right, number 18. Okay, if the duration of an owner's rights in an estate is not determinable, the owner has what type of an estate? A, tenancy at sufferance, B, leased fee simple estate, C, freehold estate, or D, leasehold estate. So if the duration of an owner's rights in an estate is not determinable, the owner has what type of an estate? Type your answer in the chatty chat. Yes, awesome. A freehold estate, right? Because we don't know when they're going to sell it. They have all the bundle of rights. They have a fee simple estate. It's undeterminable how long they're going to be there, right? It could be they pass away, okay, or they sell it. Oh, David, no, it's not a tenancy at sufferance. Okay, why? Because it says the duration of an owner's rights in an estate. Tenancy at sufferance, yes, they do own it. However, that is not the duration of the owner's rights. Okay, we don't know how long the owner's rights are. Here, they gave possession to somebody else for a temporary for a determinable not time, right? Because tenancy at sufferance, they're under a lease. So it has a start and an end date, and those tenants happen to stay there as squatters afterwards. So now the owner is suffering, has to pay to get them evicted. But that's not where it says duration of an owner's rights in an estate. Okay, so the owner here, tenancy at sufferance, they are the owners, but their ownership is not determinable. That is freehold. Okay, that is a freehold estate. Because we don't know, we can't determine. It doesn't have a, it does have a start date, okay, but it doesn't have an end date. Got it, David? David, you're the one from the Rio Grande Valley? Can't remember. All right, number 19. The distinguishable feature of a leasehold estate. How do you distinguish it from others? The leasehold estate is what, oh boy, look at that. I look pretty groovy, huh? With my glasses to help me. It looks like I got sunglasses, but I don't. The glare protecting me from the ring light. So the distinguishable feature of a leasehold estate is what? A, ownership of an interest by a tenant. B, temporary ownership of the full bundle of rights in a property. C, unlimited ownership of one right in the bundle of rights in a property. D, that the estate is limited by a lease term. So read the answers carefully. What have I been saying about leasehold estate? They have a start and an ending. So which of the answers would have, yes, very good, D, that the estate is limited by a lease term. Awesome. All right, number 20. Let's see if that works. No, number 20 is the long one. Okay, time to minimize here. Oh, it froze. All right, number 20. I have to go pick up the kids. Okay, good. Now listening. Very good. Thank you for letting us know, Kamanani. 20. A landowner conveys a parcel of property with the provision that the land cannot be developed for retail purposes. Okay, landowner conveys. Okay, so they could have gifted it. They could have, they transferred it, right, to somebody, but it has a condition. Cannot be developed for retail purposes. The new owner immediately begins to develop a retail shopping outlet. The grantor finds out and takes the property back. What kind of an estate did this landowner convey? A, fee simple absolute. B, life estate with reversion. C, life estate with condition subsequent. Or D, fee simple defeasible. I did mention it at the beginning. However, not everyone was here. So for anyone who's just joined us, we're doing national and questions that apply to all 50 states. And then we are doing Texas state questions at the end on the second half. So, wow, awesome. Guys got it. So I don't know if it's been the vocabulary they're reviewing. It must be, because you're doing really good. Yes. Fee simple, defeasible, right? They've got all the bundle of rights. However, they have to use it under the condition that it was provided to them. If they don't, boom, it reverts back to the owner. So B seemed like it was correct because it had the word reversion, but it wasn't a life estate, right? For the life of those individuals, okay? They conveyed the property, okay, the title, the deed, with the condition that, hey, I'm going to get it back if you don't follow my conditions, okay? I'm not just giving you the land so you can do whatever the heck you want with it, right? It's for public use. Right, number 21. Ned grants his sister Alice an estate for as long as she lives. Her descendants, however, cannot inherit the estate. What kind of an estate is it? A, an estate per autre vie. B, an estate for years. C, an ordinary life estate. Or C, legal life estate. $121. Oh, we're already at 121. Oops, I was only going to do 20 and go to state. And so they gave an estate to Alice, the sister, as long as she lives. Descendants, however, cannot inherit the estate, right? Oh, no, it's not estate per autre vie. It is actually an ordinary life estate. C. Okay. So let's see how the answer explains it. So a life estate is limited in duration to the life of a named person. upon the death of the owner, ordinary life estate, or other named individual, per atra v life estate, to compete for something, or other named individual, it said, the estate passes to the original owner, a reversion interest, or another named party, a remainder interest, right? That's the third person. So it can revert back to the original owner, or it can go to a remainder interest person. Thus, with the life estate, the owner enjoys full ownership rights during the estate period. That holds and holders of the future interest own either a reversionary or a remainder interest. So, it said on here, the death of the owner, upon the death of the owner, the ordinary life estate, or other named individual, per atra v life. That would be another competitor, another individual that could have been named. Okay, so let me look up atra v. Oh man, what the heck am I doing? Oh. Wow, I messed something up here. I can't get rid of this. Oh, I'm clickety away. And let's see, estate per atra v. So let me give you the exact definition. Per atra v is a French phrase is a French phrase which means for another's life. So it's not an estate for another's life. It's an estate for Alice, okay, the sister. It wasn't for the sister or someone else. This phrase is durational in meaning as it is another's life, not that of the possessor. The possessor is Alice, right? That is used to measure the amount of time someone has a right to possess the property. All right, so let's go to 22. Okay, I'm going to go to 25 since I like to stop at either 5, 10, 15, 20, or 25 instead of in the middle. And then we'll go to Texas State. Okay, homestead estates are example of what? A, conventional life estate. B, a legal life estate. C, an estate created by an owner's agreement. Or D, a fee simple absolute. Okay, so a conventional life estate, a legal life estate, so homestead. Ooh, yep. Okay, got it. All right. So I'm reading the comments. So is it we already know that it's not they don't use ordinary here. It's not a fee simple absolute. A homestead estates are examples of, well, it could be, okay? But it's considered what kind of an estate? It's a legal life estate, okay? A legal life estate is a homestead, dower, or courtesy are legal life estates. Courtesy are legal life estates. A legal life estate is created by state law. That is what a homestead is. Protecting them from any debtors trying to take the home away, because that is the primary residence that we own and live in. So a legal life estate is created by state law as opposed to being created by the property owner's agreement. So the original one we had was an ordinary life estate, right? This one is a legal life estate because it's a homestead. Okay, so we're given the right of the homestead from the government, from the state. The focus of a legal life estate is defining and protecting the property rights of surviving family members upon the death of the husband or wife, so that creditors cannot just take it away. So 122 is B, a life estate. Oops, what was 121? Oh, 121 was C and 1.22 is B. Okay, so that's the difference from a ordinary life estate or a legal life estate. Ordinary is when you own a fee simple estate, right? So let me go back. So net grants, what kind of an estate is it? They're an estate that is given to someone. It's an ordinary life estate. So the individual gives it to somebody else, right? For possession and use and enjoyment. The legal life estate is given by the state as a homestead, and we are able to write off, get discount on the property taxes. That's the difference there. 23. Yeah. Come on, 23. Oh, man. I doubt if it's going to fit. Nah. Okay, it's a long one. So it's going to be small. Okay, 23. Lewis owned a boat and a house before marrying Barbara. While she was single, Barbara owned a new car. My glasses are blurred. The two got married and bought a second home. As a wedding present, Barbara's father bought Lewis a motorcycle. Under the law of community property, what property can Lewis sell without his wife's consent or signature? Okay, community property also being similar to tenants by the entirety. Okay, some states have tenants by the entirety, others have community property. I think there's only 9 states that have community property. It's a little bit different than tenants by the entirety. Okay, sorry, I didn't read the answers. So A, Barbara's father bought Lewis a motorcycle. Okay, does it belong to both of them or just to him? A, the boat and house. So the question is, under the law of community property, what property can Lewis sell without his wife's consent or signature? A, the boat and house. B, the boat, home, and motorcycle. C, the second home and the motorcycle. D, the boat and motorcycle. So Lewis owned a boat and a house before getting married, and then he was gifted a motorcycle. So which ones can he sell? He owns 3 things: a boat, a house before marriage, and a motorcycle. It is not A, the boat and the house. The motorcycle was a gift to him. So the answer is B, the boat, the house, and the motorcycle. The house that he owned. Now, in real estate, when you actually go out and do it, in most states, and if they're closing with a title company, the spouse will have to sign for either of the houses to be sold. So it said, under the law of community property, what property can Lewis sell without his wife's consent or signature? In Texas, we're a community property state, and I've gone to closings where there's a married couple and they require the wife to sign even though she doesn't have ownership. Okay. So let's see. Yes, a gift or anything inherited. I totally forgot. Yes. And even if you get, let's see, insurance, okay, life insurance estate or accident insurance, that belongs to the individual and not to both. Or you win a lottery, that belongs to the individual and not to both. I believe that is correct. Okay. All right. So number 24. Caitlyn rents an apartment for 1 year. What rights has she acquired under the leasehold? So she rents an apartment for 1 year. The right to exclude everyone from the premises. B, the right to encumber the fee interest. C, the right to sell the premises, or the right to possess and use the premises. So what rights do we have as a tenant? Yes, very good. 124D, the right to possess and use. That was D. All right, last national question for tonight. And don't you all disappear, right? Anybody who's here for Texas, we're going to continue with Texas. So 25, an estate from period to period will continue as long as A, the tenant makes and landlord accepts regular rent payments. B, the term specified in the lease. C, the period is less than a year. Or D, the landlord has not sold the property. An estate from period to period will continue as long as, so it could be month to month, it could be year to year, it could be week to week. No, it is not D. The answer is A. As long as the tenant makes and landlord accepts regular rent payments. Because remember, a lease can be for 12 months and it'll expire. However, the leases a lot of times do have a clause that it can go into a month-to-month lease as long as the tenant is continuing to pay and the owner is accepting the payment, the landlord. So B, the term specified in the lease. Yeah, that could be, but the period is less than a year. So it continues as long as both agree and payments are being made. Okay. Any questions on the national? I have to shift here and go to state. So give me a moment while I shift gears here. Number 5. Hold on here. I need a little bit more time for this. Yeah, here we go. All right. So now we go to Texas state questions. So on the thumbnail, you're going to see the whole US, right? And then Texas, because the US means we're doing national questions that apply to all 50 states. And then the Texas is we're focusing just on Texas state questions. Again, we're using the same book by Metley. So anybody who's just coming in for state questions, for Texas state questions, this is the book that we're using right now. Oops. Sorry. I got to share the screen, right? So the Texas Real Estate Exam License Prep, and it's on the comments. It's on the description below where you can buy the textbook, or you can actually also buy it as a Kindler, which is what I'm using. Kindle, okay? Kindle for computer or for your phone, okay? And so this book has the introduction. It has review, okay? You see all those reviews on the left-hand side for all the national. And then it has math review. And then it has all the Texas law reviews. And then it has national practice test, Texas state level practice test, has 6 of them for the Texas. And then it has a whole complete examination, which we already did on videos 1, 2, and 3, where I say sample test and I have the Texas map on the thumbnail. So you can go to that series, Texas State exam. It's actually under the playlist, Texas Real Estate Exam, Sample Exam, Prep Exam, okay? It includes both the national and the state. It was 100 questions, and we did it in a series of 3. All right. So excellent book. So click the link below if you'd like to have your own copy. All right, so let's see here. If you put the property in a land trust in Texas, is it better than an LLC? Actually, I have done both, and that's when you are, I would put them in both, okay? When I had an LLC, and so that allows you to have multiple level protection when we're an investor. So a land trust is basically, you're putting it in a trust in the name of you can put it in the last name of the owner, or you can put it in, use the address, okay? And the land trust will have a trustor, a trustee, and that's so that we don't use our own name in it in case we own multiple properties. And then the beneficiary is you or your LLC. So when I had land trusts, because I bought property subject to the existing financing, meant I bought property for an owner that couldn't sell it, and the loan stayed in their name, and there's a lot of documents that go in effect, okay, in order to do that. And then my LLC became like the property manager, but I actually owned it on title, on the deed, okay? However, the loan still existed, and I continued to pay that. So in order to get insurance, you put them in a land trust with the last name of the actual owner, you get insurance, and then you have an LLC that becomes the beneficiary. That gives you multiple levels of protection, of asset protection, because there are a lot of sue happy individuals out there. Yeah, so this is different than a land contract, okay? A land trust, it's a trust that you own. There's a trustor, a trustee. And so the trustor, okay, could be the name of the property, okay? And the actual property. The trustee is whoever you entrust to take steps under your direction. And then the beneficiary is your LLC, or you are the beneficiary, okay? So the trustor in my case was my, LLC. The trustee was somebody who I trusted. The beneficiary was actually me, okay? All right, so that's a land trust, and it's used by investors to have multiple level protection. So yes, I use Kindle. So right now we're using Kindle. All right, so let's get going with Texas state questions. So if anybody is on here is from another state, you are welcome to stay, of course, because it helps you kind of understand little keywords in questions, and it happens in both, national and state questions. It's just when it comes to state law, of course, it's not going to apply to you. Can you lose a homestead? Yeah, you can lose a homestead to foreclosure. Okay, a lender, if you have a loan on it, you can lose it. Or actually also in bankruptcy. Okay, because in bankruptcy, a lot of times you'll have to sell property. It's just credit card owners and other types of owners can't take the property away from you. So 11.1, which of the following is true regarding the Texas Real Estate Commission known as TREC? So David already answered C. A, commissioners serve staggered 3-year terms. B, 9 members are elected for 6-year terms. C, 3 members must represent the public. And D, 6 members are appointed by the governor with the approval of the Senate. So David is correct. 3 members must represent the public of the Real Estate Commission. All right. All right, number 2. The Texas Real Estate Commission, the Texas Real Estate Commission is empowered to do what? Oh, gosh, I hate that little thing. A, enact laws to administer license law statutes. B, discipline violators of license laws. C, establish uniform standards of business practice, including market area delineations and commissions. Or D, impose incarceration sentences for flagrant violators of license law. Oh, and so the answer here, yes, is B, discipline violators of license law. Okay, discipline violators of license law. Oh man, I typed the wrong answer. Dang it. Hold on Facebook, I typed the wrong answer. I need to correct that. I know it's supposed to allow me to correct it. Why isn't it? My computer is doing weird stuff here. It's slow. My internet is slow. You know, even though I have a high internet. Oh, well, I'll fix it later. So let's see, 11B. You see, I put on here 11.2C. It's actually 11.2B. Okay. So from Facebook, it moves over here and it showed the wrong answer. All right, number 3. Gosh. The purpose of Education Standards Advisory Committee, known as ESAC, is to do what? A, establish and maintain education standards for fulfillment of the education-related aspects of Texas license law. B, hire and manage real estate examination consultants to deliver the state licensing examination. C, approve the delivery performance for real estate instructors on an ongoing basis. Or D, standardize education requirements for licensees and schools. So the Education Standards Advisory Committee, what do they do? Type your answer in the chat. So let's see, I've got D. It is not D. Okay. The answer for 3 is A, establish and maintain education standards for fulfillment of the education-related aspects of Texas license law. So it says the ESAC operates in an advisory capacity to the TREC, Texas Real Estate Commission, to establish specific guidelines and standards for teachers and schools in fulfilling education-related licensing requirements. It cannot in itself establish license requirements, does not does it serve to deliver and administer the license exam. Finally, while it may establish teaching standards, it does not literally audit delivery performance of instructors. So it establish and maintain education standards for fulfillment of the education-related aspects of Texas license law. Okay, what else did it say here? So it says, while it does establish teaching standards, it does not literally audit delivery performance of instructors. So C SIMS also standardized education requirements. No, it establishes and maintains the education standards. Okay. So little keywords different. So D says it standardizes the education requirements for licenses and schools. And A says establishes and maintains education standards, right? The title of it is Education Standards Advisory Committee. So education standards for fulfillment of the education-related aspects of Texas license law. All right, number 4. That one was a mouthful. In fulfilling its regulatory role, TREC is empowered to do what? A, convict licensees of misdemeanors or felonies. Dissolve funding business entities such as real estate management companies. C, amend license laws if deemed to be legal or unfair. Or D, impose fines as well as suspend or revoke licenses. How much battery? Wow, so Elida says power went out on her side of town for a bit. Yeah, because there's rainy storms, right? So what is, yes, D, right? Impose fines as well as suspend. Right, so impose fines as well as suspend or revoke licenses, right? All right, that was number 4D. Number 5. Yeah, and sometimes when there's weather issues, then also impacts internet. Okay. Okay, number 5. Bear with me one moment, please. Okay, if a licensee suspension is upheld following a hearing, the licensee must do what? A, may appeal to the district court where the hearing was held. B, may appeal to an appellate court where the violation occurred. C, may sue in district court for injunctive release. Or D, may not appeal the TREC's decision. Type your answer in the chatty chat. Okay. So the answer here is A, may appeal to a district court where the hearing was held. So it normally takes place in Austin. Okay, if the person does not respond when TREC asks them to choose where they want to hold it. and they can hold it in their own district court, or if they don't respond, then it is held in Austin. So they would appeal it in the district court where the hearing was held. Gosh. Come on, internet. Wow, this is a pain here. Okay, number 6. Ooh, that's a long one. Which of the following is true regarding the Texas Real Estate Recovery Trust Fund? Okay, the Recovery Trust Fund. Don't mistake it for, anyway, I won't say anything yet. A, licensees must prominently display Form 1-1 to consumers advising them of the importance of the caveat emptor or let the buyer beware. B, licensees fund the trust account through fines and judgments issued by the TREC. C, the trust fund exists to assist licensees in financing the payment of judgment to consumers. Or D, licensees must disclose to consumers that there is a trust fund in Texas to satisfy judgments and reimburse party damages from the actions of licensees. So what is the recovery trust fund used for? Yes, D. Right? Licenses must disclose to consumers that there is a trust fund in Texas to satisfy judgments and reimburse parties' damages from the actions of licensees. Very good. Okay. Finally, my Facebook is working. So anybody watching the replay, hey, you may fast forward through this. I'm typing answers on Facebook. But these are all recorded from live, and, ask students to participate. So when you're actually watching the replay, I give students a little bit of time to answer. And some individuals want the answers right away because they're not participating, then just fast forward, please. My classes are designed to help you participate so that I can help you in case you were to get the question wrong, or to expand by my experience, or, explain further the question and the answers. Okay. All right, so number 7. Which of the following is true regarding one's license status? So what's true about our license status? A, sales agents who will be suspended must notify their broker in writing 3 days prior to the suspension. B, brokers who will be suspended must notify their sponsored agents of such an action within 7 days before the suspension. Okay, so the first one says sales agents. Okay, must notify. B says brokers who are going to be suspended. C, if a sales agent's license is suspended, the broker has 7 days to request a hearing. Or D, licensees with suspended license may continue paid advertising, but may immediately cease all other brokerage practice. Oh, wow. Yes, David. A, sales agents who will be suspended must notify their broker in writing 3 days prior to the suspension. So because the suspension is happening through TREC, right? The broker may not be aware of that, because it's the realtor, the agent, that's going to the hearings. So as soon as they know, it says they have within 3 days prior to the suspension. All right, number 8. All right, number 8. So 7 was A. Which of the following is true regarding complaints? A, they must be filed within 4 years. B, they may be conducted covertly without the knowledge of all parties. C, they are adjudicated in the order they were received. Or D, they must be investigated regardless of their apparent merit or lack of it. So here basically is what is the statute of limitation on someone that was represented in a transaction and has a right to complain from the date the incident happened. So actually, what's regarding here for true is they must be filed within 4 years. Complaints have a maximum time limit, a statute of limitation for individuals to complain up to 4 years. Further, only complaints with warranting evidence are investigated. So there has to be evidence of wrongdoing, okay, where the D says they must be investigated regardless of their apparent merit or lack of it. You'd be amazed at how people will complain and they don't have merit, okay? So it has to be providing proof, evidence, okay? Obviously, special complaints are dismissed. Suspicious complaints are dismissed. Finally, complaints may proceed as a function of their severity or jeopardy to the public welfare, not simply by chronology. Okay? So not just in the order that they arrive. Oh, okay, good. Yes, very good, Sonia. Did I type the answer? No. So there's a 4-year right of limitation, statute of limitation for the person that is going to complain, and they've got to have proof, contracts or documents, okay? And they are covered, right? Depending on the severity and jeopardy to the public welfare, okay? Not first come, first serve. Okay, so now we're going into licensing and regulation. See, I already forgot what the first one was. Okay, so we just covered Texas Real Estate Commission, right? We covered TREC rules, what they're allowed to do and what are there for. Okay, so if you happen to miss questions concerning that topic, you can come to this section of the book, okay, Texas Real Estate Commission, and on the video, on the replay. So now we're going to licensing regulations. So what are the regulations for licenses? Which of the following best defines a broker? A Texas resident who performs brokerage activities for compensation. B, a licensee who sells his or her own property. C, a person who performs brokerage activities for others for compensation. Or D, a residential licensee who manages salespeople. Morris, Tigger. My cats are, there's a stray cat that hangs out with us. He's owned by the community. Okay, so 12th one. No, it is not A. We perform activities for others in return for compensation. That defines a broker or a realtor. We provide a service in exchange for compensation. Okay. All righto. All right, number 12. 2. All right, number 2. Did I write the right answer? C. Yeah, the answer was C, right? Yes. Okay. Number 12, 2. Which of the following best defines a designated broker? A, an active Texas broker designated by a licensed business entity to act on its behalf. B, a non-officer of a licensed corporation named to conduct real estate activities on its behalf. C, a dual agent in a brokerage. B, a licensee who has successfully passed his or her required realtor designation curricula. So which best defines a designated broker? No, it is not C. Remember, we do not have dual agency, even though the broker becomes like a dual agency and an intermediary. So the answer is A, an active Texas broker designated by a licensed business entity to act on its behalf. So the licensed business entity could be the brokerage, and so they have a designated broker. Okay, it may not be the broker who owns, okay, the business, the licensed business entity. So they designate another broker to brokerage, okay, the business and supervise everyone else. And they can have multiple, they have the main broker, and then they have other like assisting brokers, managing brokers. So like at EXP, we have one state broker, and then we have a lot of others that are supervising brokers. What was the answer? A. Okay, so some of you answered, well, actually you did pretty good, 12A. Yes, Sonia changed it, very good. All right, number 3. Which of the following parties does have to have a license to operate legally? A, person who shows his licensed brother's listing to neighbors in the immediate neighborhood. B, MLS services who provide listing services but do not get paid for resulting transactions. C, a family member who settles a house just inherited from her father, sells a house, okay, just inherited. Or D, an employee of Burger King who assists in the purchase of a site for his company. So which of the following does not have to have a license to operate legally? Yes, 3A, 12.3A. A person who shows his licensed brother's listing to neighbors in the immediate neighborhood. You know, a family member, you know, has permission to go open the house and show it. So MLS service who provide listing services but do not get paid for resulting transactions. You know, they do have a license to operate legally. I'm sorry. Let me see. Which of the following parties does have to have a license to operate legally? I'm sorry. Okay. So a person who shows their licensed brother's listing to neighbors in the immediate neighborhood. Okay. So they do have to have a license to operate legally, because now they're going and showing a listing that's on the multiple listing service. Okay, the others do not, right? An employee of Burger King, no. A family member who sells, no. MLS service who provides listing services and do not get paid, no, they don't have to be licensed, right? They're just running a multiple listing service and all the listings that are provided there. They're not dealing with clientele. So a person who shows his licensed brother's listings to neighbors in the immediate neighborhood. Because they're showing it to whom? To clients, right? Or, I'm sorry, not to clients, but to customers. I misread. Yes. Oops. I read that wrong too. I read does not. Okay. But which of the following parties does? And so that's why I have, a brother can show their brother's property, right? If they're living in the house. And that's how I was thinking about it. But it says a person who shows his licensed brother's listing to neighbors in the immediate neighborhood, because any property that is listed, okay, must be shown by a licensed realtor. Only licensed realtors show listed properties. Okay, the owner can show it themselves. Okay, number 4. All of the following are exempt from real estate licensure except one. Which one is not exempt? So, all of the following are exempt from real estate licensure except one. So, which one is not exempt from having a license? A, Texas attorney. B, a party acting under the auspices of the court. C, an on-site manager of an apartment complex. Or D, a city mayor who operates a rental agency. All of the following are exempt except for one. So which one is not exempt? Remember, attorneys write legal contracts. Somebody that is an administrator by the court, they don't need one. An on-site manager of an apartment complex, they're an employee. Okay. C, a city mayor who operates a rental agency, yes. So they need a license. Okay, so I just want to go to the previous ones, and several of us read it wrong. So a person who shows so when we said which one does have to have a license? So whenever a person showing properties is a brokerage activity. Okay, so showing properties to others that are going to provide compensation, because when a buyer purchases, right, the brokerage pays compensation, the seller pays the compensation to the brokerage, right? So showing properties is a brokerage activity where other parties and compensation are involved. However, a person may buy or sell his or her own property without a license. That's okay. But employees of business transactions for their own account need not be licensed either. So if you're selling your own property, you don't have to be licensed. But in this case, they're showing a listed property from a licensed realtor, and there's going to be compensation involved. That's considered a brokerage activity. Okay, I didn't even type the answer correct. Number 12.4 was D, right? So the city mayor, man, better get his license if he's got a rental agency. All right, number 5. William has been named designated broker for the partnership he works with. The designated broker, okay? For this to be acceptable, William must do what? A, be actively licensed sales agent or broker. B, be a general partner of the firm. C, be an employee of the partnership. D, must have been affiliated with the firm for a minimum of 12 months or a minimum period of 12 months. So in order for William to be named a designated broker for the partnership he works with, okay, for this to be acceptable, William must do what? Okay, David says B. Yes, David must be a general partner of the firm. A 12.5B. He's already a sales agent, or he's a designated broker, right? But in this case, he's a broker for the partnership he works with. Okay, not just for. So he has to be a general partner of the firm. Oh, they didn't. Okay, this is number 6. It doesn't have a number on it. If an applicant fails to prove to the commission he or she blank, he or she can be denied a license. A, is registered to vote. B, has net worth over $25,000. C, is honest or trustworthy. Or D, has an insured car and driver's license. What do we also, aside from taking all our classes and passing the exams, yes, what is it that we have to also have and show? Okay, the Texas Real Estate Commission. Yes, be honest and trustworthy, right? Be honest and trustworthy. Very good. All right, number 7. Darn it. To obtain a Texas real estate sales agent license, applicants must complete what? A lot of things, right? A, 60 hours of real estate principles and 120 hours of finance, law, contract forms, and agency. B, 90 hours of real estate principles and 90 hours of law, finance, and agency. C, 120 hours of pre-licensure education and 60 hours of post-license education during the 2 years initial license period. Or D, 90 hours of pre-licensure education and 90 hours of post-license education during the 2-year initial license period. We in Texas have to do a lot of education before and after. Some other states have a little bit more, but most states have a lot less than we do in Texas. No, y'all. Yes, Ike, it is A. 60 hours of real estate principles, right? You have 30 hours of principles 1, 30 hours of principles 2. And then 120 hours, including finance, law, contract forms, and agency, right? Each is 30 hours. So it's 6 courses, each of 30 hours. That's 180 hours. So 60 hours, principles 1 and 2, okay? So that's where 12A is the only correct answer. Yes, you do have 180 hours, but it's not 90 hours of real estate principle. You only have 60. Principles 1, principles 2. Okay? Very good. All right, number 8. So remember that, this question kind of tries to trick you, right? Yes, 90 plus 90 is 180, right? And 120 plus 60, that's 180. However, it's all pre-licensure, 180 pre-licensure education. And then within the first 2 years, we have to complete 90 hours, right? Plus legal updates 1 and legal update 2, which can be included in that 90 hours, okay? But you've got to take legal update 1 and legal update 2. And you also take your ethics. Okay, number 8. Let me see if I can make it a little bit larger here. Oh, that's my unwind alarm, guys, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Which of the following is true regarding license requirements? A, non-resident license applicants must meet special out-of-state education requirements in Texas. B, non-resident applicants must agree to forfeit any non-Texas real estate license. C, successful license applicants must be issued an active license, which is sent to the applicant's sponsoring broker. Okay, be very careful of the little words they have in the sentences, okay? Or D, applicants who have met all requirements will receive an inactive license. Okay, one little key word can change the whole answer. So which one is the correct answer regarding license requirements? So we take all of our courses, we get approved, we go take our exams, we pass our exams, and what happens after we pass our exams? Yes, we are in inactive status, right? Applicants who have met all requirements will receive an inactive status. Very good. Awesome, awesome. Can you tell that's one of my favorite words? Awesome, awesome. Or just the word awesome. Oh, come on, 9. Okay, number 9. Yes, inactive status. Very good. So we are in inactive status as soon as we pass our exams. Number 9, which of the following is true regarding the education requirements for the broker's license? A, applicants must complete 630 hours of post-secondary education. B, applicants must complete 900 hours of post-secondary education, including 630 hours of core real estate courses or their approved equivalent. C, applicants with a bachelor's degree or more are deemed exempt from the 270-hour requirement core classes. Or D, applicants must complete 270 hours of post-secondary education. So in order to get your broker's license, of course, you have to practice for certain years, right? 4 years. And then there's a certain number. No, it is not 9. 9. It is not D. In order to become a broker, we're required 900 hours, okay? 630 of those hours can be for a bachelor's degree. So the broker's education requirement is 900 total hours, 630 of which can be in real estate or related courses. Like I have an engineering degree, so I got my broker license in Oregon. The 630 degrees from my engineering were accepted. I still had to take 270 hours, which can be waived. So related courses, which can be waived via a bachelor's degree. 270 hours of the total must be in core real estate classes. Okay, so 900 hours is the total amount. And if you have a bachelor's degree, they may waive those 630 hours depending on the type of bachelor's degree. So nowadays there are real estate degrees, okay? So you can get a college degree for real estate now. And that would also count for the 630 hours. Shoot, did I type the right answer or not? Yes, no. Shoot, I typed answer C and the answer is B. Sorry. 12.9. Guys, you're supposed to be watching out for me here. Sorry about that. So anybody watching the replay, the answer is 900 hours. So my apologies. Typo. Mind is going faster. Okay, number 10. TREC, Texas Real Estate Commission, know your acronyms, may waive a broker's education and experience requirements if A, the applicant earned a master's degree in real estate, B, the applicant was a licensed attorney for 2 of the prior 4 years, C, the applicant was a broker for the prior 2 years, completed the CE requirements, and was active for 2 of the prior 4 years. Or D, the applicant was an active sales agent for the 4 years, for 4 of the previous 5 years preceding the application. So TREC may waive broker's education and experience requirement if, yes, David, C, the applicant was a broker for the prior 2 years, completed the CE requirements, right? Because we have to have continuing education every 2 years, and was active for 2 of the prior 4 years. Okay, so they were active for the most recent 2 years, and out of the last 4 years, they were active for 2 of them, the most recent ones, and did their CE requirements. So the answer is correct for 10C, 1210C. All right, number 11. Hey guys, we've gone 2 hours. Let's see how many questions we have on this. I know some of you are testing tomorrow or Thursday, so I'm willing to stay a little bit longer to give you more questions. Number 11, which of the following statements is true regarding license renewals? Okay, license renewals in the state of Texas. A, license must be renewed every 3 years. B, all licenses expire on December 31st of even years. C, TREC distributes a notice to renew 3 months prior to the expiration. Or D, timely applications must be received no later than 30 days following expiration. Okay, so remember, we do get a warning, okay, prior to our license expiring. Oh, so Ike takes his exam tomorrow. Well, we wish you the best, Ike. All right, so let's see. We have 3. Yes, the answer here is C. TREC distributes a notice to renew 3 months prior to expiration. And I'll tell you what, sometimes we still don't complete them. I know, because I'm one of those that sometimes doesn't complete it, okay? And so what happens then? As long as we pay the fee to extend for 60 days prior to the expiration date, and pay the actual fee for the courses, for the CE requirements, right, for renewing the license, we can still remain active. Okay, so so you're getting best of luck. Shoot, yes. Ike, best of luck. So good luck on your exam tomorrow. Get a good night's sleep. Don't stay up all night. Okay. That was number, wait a minute. Did we do number 11? Yes, okay. So 12, 11, come on, Lillie, wake up. 12, 11 with C. Okay. Number 12, 12. A licensee misses the deadline for license renewals. In this case, the licensee, what? Okay, so a licensee misses the deadline for license renewal. In this case, the licensee, be careful on the answers. A, must retake the license examination and pay late fees. B, must pay a deferral fee and complete any CE requirements within 60 days. C, must go inactive for a minimum of 90 days. Or D, must resubmit an initial licensure application, including background checks. So I just, I'm right behind you. Oh, yeah. So Cindy's right behind you. I think she takes it on Wednesday. So which one do you think is right? I just mentioned it just a little bit before, okay? And about my own personal experience. So yes, the answer is B. We must pay a deferral fee of $200, I believe it is, and then complete any CE requirements within 60 days and pay our renewal fee, okay? So it ends up being 400 and something, the deferral fee, the renewal fee, and then we take the courses and submit them to TREC. If we don't complete it within the deadline, then we go inactive, okay? They give us 1 extension. All right, number 13. Which of the following is true regarding the renewal of an expired license? Okay, so the previous one said misses the deadline. Okay, it hadn't expired yet. It misses the deadline. So we can miss the deadline and pay the deferral fee as long as we pay it before the expiration date. Okay. And if you pay it on the expiration date, boy, you better get on that phone and call them and tell them, hey, man, I just sent the money. I'll pay it right now so that you don't go into expiration. So 13, which of the following is true regarding the renewal of an expired license? So now the license has expired. What do we need to do? A, renewing applicants do not lose active status if they properly renew within 90 days. B, with a proper application, late renewers filing within 60 days of expiration will not lose active status if sponsored throughout period between expiration and the new license issuance. C, expired licenses automatically become inactive. Or D, the license period for the renewed license begins the day of the late renewal application received. Application was received. So what happens to what is true regarding the renewal of an expired license? Actually, the answer is B. With proper application, late renewers filing within 60 days of expiration will not lose active status if sponsored throughout the period between expiration and new licensee issuance. So remember, the prior one, question number 12 said, if a licensee misses the deadline, what can they do? Well, they can pay the deferral fee and complete any CE requirements within 60 days. Okay. So it expired on our expiration date. However, we got extra 60 days because we paid a deferral fee, and we've got to do it just before the referral fee. I'm sorry, just before the expiration date. But we actually have an expired license with an extension of 60 days by paying a penalty, and we're still sponsored. Okay, so that question didn't say all that detail, but this one says, so once regarding the renewal of an expired license. Okay, so my license expired. However, I paid the $200 fee. So with a proper application, late renewers filing within 60 days of expiration will not lose active status. So they filed with their 60 hours. I mean, their CE requirements. Okay, they send them in before the 60 days, within the 60 days. Better do it a few days before the 60 days to make sure they have the administration to process them. So they filed the application, they had already paid the fees, okay, to defer it and to renew it. But now we have to submit the classes before the expiration of those 60 days, and they will not lose active status if still sponsored throughout period between expiration and new licensee issuance. So understand that our license can expire. However, by getting an extension, the deferment, we have an additional 60 days. So at the 60 days, we've got the application of submitting with the continuing education of 18 hours now here in Texas, including Legal Update 1 and Legal Update 2. So we are still active and we're still being sponsored, okay, because we paid a penalty. All right, do you all get that? So this one, it says what happens after it's expired. The other one, so on both of them, it's expiring, but on the prior one, we have to pay the penalty fee, okay, before it expires. So we missed the deadline of renewal. Okay, great. We pay the fee. It expired, but we get a chance to do it 60 more days. And here, we're still licensed, we're still active, and we still have a sponsor. Okay, but we got to make sure we issue the certificates within those 60 days. Got it? All right, number 14. So tricky little things. So it's yes, expired licenses automatically become inactive. No, it depends, right? Did you pay the deferral fee? Then you stay active. The license period for the renewed begins the day the late renewal application was received? No. And then renewing applicants do not lose active status if they properly renew 90 days? No. Okay. 14, licenses can become inactive for many reasons, 3 of which are listed below. Which statement does not trigger an inactive license? A, the state changes the education requirements for licensees. B, the sponsoring broker moves to a different state. C, the brokerage goes bankrupt. Or D, the licensee applies for inactive status. So which statement does not trigger an inactive license? 3 of them do, 1 of them does not. Because 1 of them is not our doing or our broker's doing. The answer here is A, the state changes the education requirements for licensees. Okay. If they do that, then they'll tell us, okay, you need to take additional hours. And some of the hours that we can use towards our renewal can be like 1-hour classes that we go with a title company, with a home inspection, or property management, lenders that come and give a presentation. Sometimes they allow a 1 credit hour or 3 credit hours, 2 credit hours for some of those. And it allows you to participate and learn from other businesses that we become partners with, or we have a network of businesses. So you don't always have to do the hours online or a whole course. Can also start getting, 15 hours of credits or 10 hours of credit by attending learning sessions that are acceptable as a continuing education credit, right? We need to know about mortgages. We need to know about home warranties, inspectors and things like that. They come and talk to us because we deal with all of those in our daily transactions. Number 15, which of the following, well, not daily transactions, but in certain, transactions, once we have a contract, which of the following are causes for the deactivation of a business entity license? A, the business obtains E&O insurance. B, the entity elects to deactivate. C, the entity fails to complete a transaction in a 12-month period. Or D, the designated broker is promoted to president of the corporation. So which one causes deactivation of a business entity? To carry E&O, but it's best that we do to protect ourselves and there's no deadline as to how many contracts or transactions has to be completed within 12 months. And president of the corporation, they'll designate another broker. Okay. That doesn't deactivate a business. All right. Number 16. I guess we go small. All right. Number 16. Which of the following is true regarding the maintenance of one's license status? Regarding the maintenance of one's license status, what is true? A, deactivating brokers must give sponsored sales agents a 30-day advance notice from the date of the application. So brokers that are going to go out of business, all right, they're deactivating their license. B, a sponsoring broker has to notify track of a sales agent firing within 1 week of the occurrence. C, to reactivate a broker license, the broker must satisfy all CE requirements and take a 5-hour ethics update course. Or D, to reactivate a sales agent license, licensees must complete a 5-hour legal update course. C and D, okay, those courses. So the answer here is A. Deactivating brokers must give sponsored sales agents a 30-day advance notice from the date of the application so that those realtors, right, have a chance to find another broker. Not do it immediately. Unless Trek deactivates their license, then we have to quickly go find a new broker, a new sponsor. Okay? So the sponsoring broker has to notify Trek of a sales agent firing within 1 week. No. C, reactivate a broker license. The broker must satisfy CE requirements and 3 hours ethics updates. No. Ethics update is just, we can do it through the NAR website. And D, to reactivate a sales agent license must complete 3 hours of legal update course. No, our legal update courses are each 4 hours. Legal update 1 and legal update 2, each are 4 hours. And we take those every 2 years so that we can keep up with the law, because many do not know, the law and follow it. So it's become stricter and stricter because of a lot of fraudulent type of practices, okay, amongst realtors. So that's the end. We're ending at that number, at that session. We can continue on Wednesday with more if you'd like me to do national and state questions. And if you want me to do just Texas state questions, that of course excludes national students that I have, but they can watch the replay. So any questions before we call it a day? While you're thinking of that, hey, remember, if you've never been to my YouTube channel, YouTube AgentPrep, hey, please go over there and tap the subscribe button, okay? Click that little bell so you're the first to get notified every time I go live, and click the thumbs up here, okay? Press that thumbs up, man. Don't give me no thumbs down, man. You know what? It's a lot of work what we do in doing these classes, okay? So if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything, really. That's how I practice, right? Either don't do a thumbs up or, give me a thumbs up and write some comments below. Just remember that the books that I use on this course of class, okay, it's not violating any copyright. So the links are down in the comments of books that you can purchase. And one of them actually is not a book that you should pay money for. It's already free on the internet. The Texas Real Estate Sales Exam, 4th edition. That book is actually free online. It has been there. Students shared it with me from 2014. And it's an old book, 2006, but it is an excellent book. I did do a session, I think it's video 1 through 24 or one of the others, where I used that old book. And some of the state questions are outdated, but I point them out. So what I recommend to all of you, and to Ike, who are you taking your exam tomorrow, and to Cindy, who you're taking your exams on Wednesday, all of you, thank you very much for attending, and you're very welcome. So remember to skip the first 5 questions and the math when you get into the exam. Those are typically the hardest, and they get you nervous and stressed out. Don't rush through them. If you don't know a question, if it's a long question, click it for review, come back to it later, because later questions can help you answer prior questions. That's when it's good to change an answer. Okay. All right, you all. So this is Wild Lily Handy coming to you from San Antonio, Texas with YouTube Agent Prep. I am a realtor actively practicing real estate with EXP. And eventually you're going to be looking for a sponsor, and I'd love to talk to you about EXP Realty. We may or may not be a solution for you, as we are a virtual company in the cloud. Our office is in the cloud. We are cloud-based, but lots of benefits, lots of technology, training, education, mentorship. It is awesome. Don't just look at a company because of the fees. That's not building a business if that's all you're going to care about, okay? Because if all you're paying attention is to the fees, oh, it's going to cost me this much money each month, then don't get into the business, okay? Because it's going to cost money to build your business, all right? I'm just being straightforward, and it is. Real estate is an awesome business. However, you've got to work your butt off, your ass off, okay? And deal with a lot of different personalities, individuals, lots of people, have network people that you network with, and don't be a secret agent. You know, you got to tell the whole world. And with EXP, we get to tell the whole world. We get to meet people from all over the world by doing it virtually. Of course, we go and work with clients personally, like I showed, 6 houses on Saturday. I try to limit it to 5 houses per client when I'm showing. I prefer listings, okay? Because I can have a lot of listings and don't have to deal with a lot of buyers. And so I still go out and do that. I showed 6 instead of 5 on Saturday. So let's see. Ike says, hey, I heard someone discuss EXP Realty in Clubhouse a few days ago. Oh, yeah, we're awesome. No, it was not me. I don't do a lot in Clubhouse. It's like another social media to me. I keep busy with YouTube, okay, posting on the other social medias. YouTube is my primary. And doing this and creating other videos takes a lot of time. And we've got to focus on what helps us grow. Clubhouse, I did a little bit at the beginning. And in fact, that's where the owner of our company met Grant Cardone. And Grant Cardone actually joined EXP Realty. If you don't all know who Grant Cardone is, oh my gosh, go Google him, right? And our owner is Glenn Sanford. So it was a Dr. Finance's room. Oh, wow. So no, it wasn't me. I'm not doing Clubhouse anymore, because I tell you what, it can get addicting. You can spend a lot of hours there listening to other people. And yeah, you can learn a lot of things. It's just, Facebook has become my thing. There's a lot of places we can go and learn information, and we can get involved with everything. It comes down to, we got to focus to what's going to work for us, and eventually try different things, and then narrow it down to what becomes our niche and focus on one thing. You can get the one thing by Keller Williams, by Mr. Keller. And that's a really good book. And the Millionaire Real Estate Mindset, okay, or the Millionaire Real Estate. And that is also another real good real estate book. I used to be with Keller Williams. However, during COVID, I realized that we all went virtual. Virtual is today Amazon, okay, Netflix. We are the company of today that is virtual. We're following the trend of what we're going to have. We already have flying cars, right? We're going to be going to the moon eventually, those of us who live long enough. So where's the world going? More virtual, right? Doing things online. Okay, you're studying online. You're learning online. You're doing a lot of social media. Think about that. What company is going to offer that? So if you haven't, shared any information, Ike, if you haven't talked to anybody about EXP, hey, let's chat, okay? My phone number is down in the comments. And not on the comments, on the description. My calendar is also there. You can schedule a 30-minute calendar appointment, and we can chat about EXP. All right. And I can send you a link to watch a video and learn about how brokers, left their brokerage and moved to EXP and make more money than having a brokerage. The word brokerage, broker, a lot of them are broke. Okay. And so, you get an opportunity to earn multiple streams of income. So if you're going to really build a business, really take time and check out us at EXP. I would love to have you on board. It doesn't matter where we are. Okay. Since we're virtual, we have the same fee nationwide. We have the same cap nationwide, $16,000 per year. Some companies, the cap in California is a hell of a lot higher than the cap in a smaller community in Texas and other states. With EXP, we have the same cap nationwide. We have the same fee nationwide. With other countries, that's different, okay? And however, it behooves you to really take time and evaluate many different brokers and look at what is it that you want, what'll work for you. Okay, not what's going to work for them, because most brokers want you to go there and they're going to make money from you. So it is EXP. However, we get rewarded also with stocks, and we get rewarded the first time we close our first deal. Hey, Ike, I love it. Hey, and I listened to your comment, Ike, okay, about if I could go through the answers faster. Okay. However, as you now experienced, okay, I let students participate and help them along the way. But I do listen to the comments of individuals who comment on YouTube or on Facebook, and I adapt. Okay. I am adaptable. Okay. I am teachable. All right. And in this business of real estate, we need to be teachable. Okay. Because passing your exam, oh, that's the simple part. You think it's hard? Wait till you start doing the real business. You're really going to get training and education, and keep up your training and education always. Okay. It's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. But you want a support system, and EXP has an awesome collaboration and support system. All right. It's not for everybody. Okay. If you like to go to an office and network in person, then we're not the company for you. But we do meet in person, okay, at different locations. But you're going to learn from individuals from all over the country, all over the other countries. We learn from the best of the best, okay? All right. So, yeah, I look forward to your call, Ike. And let me know, text me. I'll add you to my messenger groups. Okay, I have 4 different messenger groups: Texas, San Antonio, National, and the Rio Grande Valley. I'll add you to one of those. Well, that's if I have your Facebook name. All right, y'all, I'll let you go. Get some rest, relax, study in 20-minute sessions. We remember the beginning and the end of every study session. Oh, hi. Yes, Ike, Richmond. Awesome. So you're in Texas. I'll put you in my Texas group. And at any time you have any questions, post them on YouTube, on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, Wow Lillie Handy. That's my Facebook, Lillie Handy Dominguez. And I reply to all questions, all comments. Okay. I personally reply to all of them. All right, y'all. Thanks for your time. Hey, spread the word. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. You know, I used to be afraid of being on camera. I'm over it. All right. Until next time, good luck on your exam tomorrow. All the best for your exam. Ask for guidance. Go in there, clear your mind, take deep breaths before you go in, and skip the first 5 questions and the math until you answer all the others. Okay. And then come back and let us know. And then I can congratulate you. All right. Until next time, catch y'all later. Bye.